Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about a truly historic charging decision in the latest school shooting in Georgia. So we have a very old, tired, and deeply frustrating pattern of alienated high school student shows really extensive signs of being troubled. So much so that at one point the FBI is dispatched to his house, interviews him along with his dad. He talks the talk to get him out of suspicion. I would never do that. No, no. Those are just whatever. However, he explains the things that gave people alarm, and they go away. And a few months later, takes his father's AR-15, of course, and has a fatal school shooting. But what's really noteworthy is Georgia officials have now charged the father. In addition to him, the shooter, Colt Gray, has been charged, locked up, and he's going to be tried as an adult. There's a whole different legal regime for when, and it can depend on the crime. You will try someone as an adult, and he is going to be tried as an adult. He is 14 years old. I mean, think about it. He was barely a teenager. Now he's going to be in the adult system. But so is his 50-year-old father, Colin Gray. And the big news here is he's been charged with second-degree murder. We have a nauseatingly large number of school shootings in the country. They happen again and again, and it's often the case that parents' carelessness, or even worse, purposeful action, gives access to the fatal firearm to the shooter, the kid. But until recently, nobody thought to charge the parent with even negligence. And there is such a thing as criminal negligence, and that can be a crime that you'd occasionally, even this was sort of cutting edge, sue a parent after say a survivor parent sues the parent of the shooter saying you were negligent and I've lost my child, etc. But we had a pretty big deal a couple months ago when a father was charged with negligent homicide, but that is the lowest level of homicide. It's third, it depends on the state, but basically you have, planned out murder, malice aforethought, first degree. Second is basically complete reckless homicide, but you know what you're doing. And third is negligent. So Colin Gray is charged, and he's charged quickly. And he's charged quickly in Georgia, which is a pretty red state, and the county that he's being charged in is a pretty red county. And to me, that something like this happened in a day or two after the shooting, as opposed to what you might expect, which is a few months of wrestling in your mind with the district attorney and lawyers for the parents coming in and arguing about it and newspaper articles. It seems clear to me that this DA had said, if this happens, watch what I'm doing. I'm going to charge with second-degree murder. And you can understand that conviction analysis in advance, because the real reason he's being charged with second-degree murder is a special feature of Georgia law. He's also being charged with many counts of cruelty to children, and but the big thing is second-degree murder. That's that's the charge. For example, that Derek Chauvin, George Floyd's killer, got. We're talking about. It provides for long sentences, say over 10 years anyway. There's a special provision of Georgia law that says when you do a crime with cruelty to children, knowing cruelty to children, that gets you to second degree. That's just a fact. So he analyzed it before, had the DA, and said, look, the crime here is letting him have the gun, and he's a disturbed kid, and if you follow through, What are you worried about? Exactly what happened, and that involves cruelty to children. So boom, second degree. So Colin Gray appeared in court this morning, 54 years old, ashen, and completely his world has ended. All of a sudden, and if he's convicted, we're talking about a long sentence, etc. Meanwhile, more information has come out that the very morning, and this is just stunning, his mother, observing erratic behavior and really alarmed that he was going to do what he did, called up the school to say, find him and get him and launch the warning. And tragically, the school, we don't know all the facts, but got confused about whether it was Colt Gray or someone else. They were trying to figure it out. God knows what details we're going to find about, bureaucratic delay or whatever. But it was just at that very time, that Colt Gray bursts in and does the shooting. So whatever information caused the mom to be calling up, presumably that, Colin Gray, the father, may well have known. And, so we're talking about a pretty strong case of what the hell are you doing, and letting your son have access to an AR-15, and in situations that pose such clear and immediate danger to children, and they pose clear and immediate danger to children. So that we're talking about second degree murder, and boom, done. We'll see if there's any kind of, when there's a shooting, you'll often see the pro-gun lobby say, oh, it's a shame what happened, but don't try to regulate guns, etc. I mean, we'll see. Could anybody step up to try to defend the father here, saying, well, that's gun, I think there's just nobody, even the NRA types, who will support the right of a parent to not do the basic safety measures to lock up a gun and keep a mentally disturbed child from having access to it. Oh, and by the way, I told you before the FBI came, Colin Gray said, "Oh no, I keep him from having access to it." So it's a totally cutting edge new case, but in many ways a strong one, and one we're going to watch nationwide, because it suggests a possible whole new day and a whole new approach, really, of getting at school shootings, which is to really put pressure on the parents, and where best should it be applied than having parents who know if their kid is having mental issues and who know how to keep a gun locked up. So, does that tick off all the elements of second degree murder? We'll find out. But the horror of it, and the part of the whole gun absolute epidemic, school shootings in this country, that's a big part of it, and pushing on that, has to be considered a step of progress. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.